And so it ends, the 2025 NTT IndyCar season. I've been saying it all weekend, I can't believe it's already over, but it's over. And we've got a ton to talk about because Nashville Superspeedway, let me just say, what a freaking awesome race. Unpredictable, exciting, thrilling, different winners, side-by-side battles, lap traffic. This was everything you want an oval race to be. We need to do this more than once a year because we really don't have, yes, this is a true intermediate track, right? It's not necessarily a true superspeedway, but it's definitely not a short oval. And this type of racing is just so much fun. So much fun. If you had as much fun watching this race as I did, you're in the right place. Subscribe, like the video, comment. It's all free. It's great to do. And you can be here with me through this long off season, but we've got a ton of content coming about the silly season, about IMSA, about a lot of cool things happening between now and then. So definitely keep it tuned here on the David Land channel. So we got a really cool opportunity later, or maybe this will be the later video, but regardless, check out our exclusive interview with IndyCar champion Alex Palou, which we got here at the racetrack after, well, 2 weeks after, 3 weeks, 4 weeks after he claimed his fourth IndyCar championship in 5 years. Alex is always a great interview. I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing that. And yeah, I mean, it has been the season of Alex Palou, but for another driver, it's been a season of dismal failure and disaster and sadness. And that driver's name is Josef Newgarden, who had, until today, his absolute worst season of his career. And that's including teams that are not named Team Penske. And while I don't think today completely turned around a lot of the struggles and trials and tribulations that he faced throughout his career this year, I think Josef Newgarden really nailed it today. And what a great way to rebound and get into 2026 on the right note for Josef Newgarden and Team Penske, to knock a race off of his bucket list that is so important to him. He always talks about when he's in Nashville, a place that he's from, a place that he lives, a place that he's raising his family. To win here for Josef Newgarden is almost, if not equal to, an Indianapolis 500 win for those sorts of reasons. So I asked Josef a question in the press conference, and he kind of smacked me down a little bit, deservingly so, but it's actually okay because I think his answer is pretty good. I mentioned, all these things with Josef having trouble throughout the year. I said, when Scott pushed up the track, did that feel like, hey, something's finally going right? His answer is pretty funny. And I also got to talk to Jonathan Duguid of Team Penske about the turning point in this season because, of course, Will Power got that win at Portland. The team's been looking a lot better in the second half of the year.
I'll be straight up with you. I was about to pass him, so I didn't care. I was like, whatever. That's just a real answer for you.
There you go. I love real answers. That's great. JD, obviously the end of the season has been much better than the beginning of the season for Team Penske. Was there a moment, internally that was kind of a pivot point in positivity?
No, not really. Obviously, our short oval package is quite strong. We were strong in Iowa, strong in Milwaukee, and strong here this weekend. So the calendar helped us out a little bit with where our focus is. I think Joseph mentioned that we got to improve on some other types of circuits. But in general, today was just about execution. And that's the biggest thing, is showing the group and the team that we could still do it, and just brings a level of excitement back.
And in his 32nd IndyCar win, it's Josef Newgarden finally getting it done in his home state of Tennessee. Josef Newgarden, the winner here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Second place is the IndyCar champion for this year and the last several years, Alex Palou. It was a great race for Alex. He had a tire failure at one point. That cut was caused by some contact on the racetrack, but he was able to get it into the pits and to still finish second. I know he wanted the win. I know he wanted the 9th win on the season. But, Alex, you've won enough this year. You've won enough. Josef gets it done today. Scott McLaughlin rounds out the podium. Looked like Scott might have had a chance to win, but obviously that trouble in turn one and recovery drive was just great to get Scott McLaughlin on the podium. and finish off what was a very tough season for McLaughlin as well. The battle with Kiffin Simpson for that final podium spot is one that I think we'll remember for quite a long time. You'll hear the quotes from Scott McLaughlin and Kiffin Simpson later on in this video describing that battle. But what a result for Kiffin. The Kiff Dog agenda after a couple of rough weeks is in a much better place heading into 2026. Connor Daly scores a top 5 in the last race of the season. Very important for him. You'll hear from him later in this video. We always appreciate when Connor brings out the purple car. Kyle Kirkwood with a quiet 6th place finish after starting in the 11th spot. Felix Rosenquist rounds out or gets into the top 10 with a 7th place finish. Santino Ferrucci a quiet 8th. Callum Ilott, another great run for Prema in a race and an off-season that there's a lot of questions about that team and what its future will be. Callum Ilott continues to prove that he belongs in IndyCar. And Alexander Rossi rounding out the top 10 for the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. That's not what the race is called anymore, but I'm stuck in the past. As usual, Colton Herta, we're not really sure what his future is. He rickrolled everybody, so maybe he's staying, maybe he's going. I don't know. We've got 6 months to figure that one out, but if Colton pulled the wool over everybody's head, well, oh well. But definitely Colton was running at the front. He was looking to defend his Music City GP win, but was unable to do so with an 11th place finish. Scott Dixon fell to 12th position, but he finished 3rd in the championship, so we were able to speak to him after the race. Renus VK rounds out the lead lap cars in 13th, lucky 13th for Renus, starting in the 26th spot. Robert Schwartzman just missed out on the Rookie of the Year championship. The first car 1 lap down in 14th, and we still don't know what his future is, of course. Marcus Ericsson started 15th and finished 15th, kind of how his season has been going. Stingray Robb gained 4 positions to finish 16th. Nolan Siegel is the highest finishing McLaren car in the field, losing 1 spot from his 16th starting position to 17th. Devlin DeFrancesco gained a few from 22nd to 18th. Marcus Armstrong had time at the front today, but struggled towards the end of the race. A disappointing finish for car number 66 because it looked like at times Marcus Armstrong was going to have a super good result. Louis Foster with a 20th place finish scores the Rookie of the Year battle, but certainly the Rookie of the Year crown for this year, I should say, and it's cool to see the Indy next champion able to accomplish that. There's a lot of discussion about the racing of David Malukas, or racing alongside of David Malukas when he was a lap down. I'm sure the comment section will have a lot to say about that. Will Power, his future very much up in the air right now, and we'll find out in the next couple of days exactly what his future holds. But today he was running up at the front, led laps, but problems in the pits prevented Will Power from potentially winning what will be his last start for Team Penske. Graham Rahal just had an absolutely awful day. I'm sure he's looking forward to going home because this was just not a good weekend for Graham Rahal. Jacob Abel finishes behind him to cap off his rookie season. Pato O'Ward was the pole sitter, had a tire failure and a big crash while leading, and he was looking to improve on that second place he finished last year, but that was not to be. We're lucky Pato is okay. Christian Lundgaard had a mechanical failure, so both Aero McLaren cars, or 2 of the 3 Aero McLaren cars, 24th and 25th. David Malukas had that heavy contact, but thankfully, after being airlifted to the hospital, has been released, and he is all good. And Christian Rasmussen, the winner, first to worst, unfortunately, in a week for Christian Rasmussen. He crashed coming out of turn number 2 on the first lap. So I mentioned Kiff Dog, Kiffin Simpson, and Scott McLaughlin, which was just such a great battle for the final podium spot here in Nashville. And I wanted to ask Kiffin, I said, hey, buddy, you keep saying you're not any good at ovals, but that was true oval racing. And we also talked to Scott McLaughlin about that battle as well. Here's what they had to say.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I definitely wasn't expecting to do that today. Yeah, I don't know, just something about this place. I felt a lot more comfortable here than I have anywhere else, well, any other ovals, when we came testing here. And then we rolled out the truck strong, qualified strong, and it's just so much easier when you start further up to make something out of the day, you know? So I think that was a great job by the whole team. And yeah, it was tough because after Milwaukee, I was super frustrated and just said a quick prayer to get better on all these ovals because that's something that I was super frustrated about. But yeah, God definitely answered my prayers on that one.
I put a lot of trust in what Kiffin was doing. I raced him how I'd race Alex Palou or Joseph or anyone like that. And he raced me like them. And that's a huge credit to him and his development. I know he's put a lot of work in to be better and be stronger. And obviously, he's in a Ganassi car, which is strong. And we all know that. But, he's still got to pedal the thing. And he ran a really good race. I think, it was oh, man, I couldn't believe like how long we were side by side for, especially in like P3, P4. I thought it would have run out or he would have washed up, and honestly thought I was on the fence, probably 4 or 5 laps to go. Just like I thought he was going to wash up, and I was sort of prepared for it. So, really like stellar job by him. And I mean, I'm no oval veteran. I'm just like I've got a little bit more experience, but it was nice to race a dude that genuinely respected the outside lane, and it just felt, honestly, man, it felt like I was like Alio and Sam Hornish. Like, it was sick. It was really cool. And I was like trying to give the fans like something to go. And when I went across the line, I could see everyone sort of, oh, probably cheering Joseph, but they were definitely cheering me, I thought. But but we had a good time.
Scott Dixon finished third in the championship today, but it was kind of an understated day for him at Nashville. But he was high, wide, and handsome throughout a lot of the race. It almost bit him in turn 2, and I kind of wanted to get his thoughts on the day.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it clean, and then I went in there one time, and man, I just lost the front, then lost the rear, and the high line was kind of gone. So it was kind of frustrating. The problem here too, it seemed like as soon as you got up there, it took like 2 or 3 laps to kind of clear it off, and I saw that with a few of the other cars, but today was rough, man. The 12 car smashed us time to our pit box, so then we couldn't pit. Then we had an air jack failure, and it was just all over. We did another late stop there to try and help the pit stop score for the guys. If they win that, they get 75 grand. So that worked out well.
And a fan favorite, as always. You heard the cheers for him. You certainly saw him 4 wide on the outside going into turn 1 on lap 1. It was Connor Daly. The story of him is always the uncertainty of what will he, won't he, for a full-time or even a seat in IndyCar. But obviously results like today are the kind of thing that he needs. So we spoke to Connor after the race.
Yeah, if we were on the black tire, I think at the end it becomes a different game. But obviously, Joseph is so good on these places, and he wanted to win so bad. I was staying at his house a couple days ago, and that guy, all he cares about is winning. So I respect it. And yeah, I mean, from where we started this weekend, I thought all hope was lost, and it was a tough qualifying effort. But I think we found something in this car today that we haven't tried the entire rest of the season. That was so helpful for us. And all stint long, our deg was controlled. We never fell off really aggressively, and I think that's been a big issue for us, I think, this year. So, yeah, to be in the top 5 is still, pretty good.
In the context of the season, how strong is this and how important is this result looking next year?
I mean, it doesn't hurt. Trophies look cooler. At least we get the one they take away from us, the biggest mover maybe. But that's cool. And I'm just appreciative of the team. You know what I mean? A lot of people thought I wouldn't be full-time again. And we're in the top 5. We finished in the top 10 on most of the ovals, except for ones we've had like serious issues at. So, I think we can be really proud of that. And we have a lot of work to do for sure. But just appreciative to have the team, Brad Hollinger and Ricardo and Chevrolet, AMPM, Arco, everyone that supported us, Mankind this year has been really cool.
And so a few thoughts before we send it off from Nashville. The tire issues were quite interesting today. Now, not every team experienced them, and there was an advisory sent to the teams last night about the tires and how to treat them and how not to treat them. Now, Alex Palou's tire failure was caused by a cut. That was caused by contact. That was not a misuse of the tire, we'll put it that way. We're not sure exactly why the tire failed on car number 5 for Pato Award, but it did, and it put him in the wall very hard. So definitely a storyline coming here out of Nashville are the tires. Josef Newgarden, of course, we mentioned him already off the rip, but after such a tumultuous season for Team Penske, and particularly Josef Newgarden, this is going to feel really good. And I'm very interested to see what Team Penske looks like going into next year. I think you're going to see a lot of changes, a lot of things shake out, but I think you're going to see a new, revitalized Team Penske next year, and you certainly would think that Josef Newgarden's going to continue to be one of the pillars of that team's success. I just want more of this, man. Not just in general with IndyCar. Of course, it's sad that I guess we'll see it for spring training in Phoenix in a couple of months, several months. But, you know, this type of racing is just so awesome. It's so amazing to see cars race over 200 miles an hour side by side. I mean, it was, you know, at the beginning of the race, the battle between Pato and Palou was awesome. The battle at the end of the race between McLaughlin and Kiffin was amazing. They're battling through the traffic, seeing guys get held up, seeing the strategies. And again, we talk about the tires, we talk about a negative, let's talk about a positive. I liked seeing the alternate compounds on the ovals. I know some of the drivers don't like it, but you know what? I think it added to some of the strategy, it added to some of the passing opportunities. So for me, as long as it improves the show, I'm all about it. So I thought today's race was just wonderful. Could we please get a few more of these racetracks on the schedule? 2025 in IndyCar. What a historic and strange year. You know, Alex Palou, the record chasing, the record breaking that he did this year, we'll remember for a very long time. You know, something I thought about in Laguna Seca is just how often we came to a racetrack or turned a race on TV and just kind of assumed that Alex Palou was going to win the race. You know, there's been some team members who have said, you know, I can't believe I would ever see this, much less be a part of it. You know, you think about his Indianapolis 500 win and how important that is. You remember, Scott Dixon has one Indy 500 win for all his greatness. And so we got to witness that this year. We got to see a lot of different faces and different names at the front of the field. We've seen some emergence of some talent. We've seen some talent regress. We're going to see a lot of change, I think, or at least one big change, we assume, with Will Power. But, you know, you never know. We've seen some, I think we've probably seen the last Iowa race, which is kind of a shame, but it looks like there's going to be some new markets, some new venues next year for IndyCar, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, as you guys know, this is the place to be if you want to hear all about it throughout this offseason, very, very long offseason. But the good news is we have IMSA, we have Formula One, we have NASCAR. There's a lot of things to talk about. Certainly on the IMSA side, going to be doing a lot of stuff with them and around that particular series. Indianapolis coming up here in a couple of weeks. The battle on the bricks, the last time that race, at least for a while, will be an endurance race, part of the Michelin Endurance Cup. And then I will also plan on being at Petit Le Mans, which is one of my favorite races on the schedule. And then the plan is to be at the Rolex 24 in January, and looking forward to a lot more exciting things that I can't talk about right now. So thank you guys so much for watching, sticking with me throughout this year. I hope you guys have enjoyed the coverage. It's bittersweet to be standing here at Nashville Superspeedway one more time and thinking about how long and how many things are going to happen between the time I'm standing here this year and the time I'll be standing here next year. But I'm so blessed to have so many great people that support me. Shout out to Joe for being my wingman this weekend. It's been just so awesome. Obviously, we're thinking about all the people who have helped make this channel possible throughout this year, and especially throughout this IndyCar season. And what a great paddock. Just so many friends, so many new friends throughout this year, so many people and great relationships. It's fun to be in IndyCar. It really is. You know, we complain about it a lot, but it's a good place to be at the end of the day. There's a lot worse places to be, we'll put it that way. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and we'll see you on down the road. There's a lot more fun stuff coming.